People think I'm crazy for spending thousands of dollars a year on grocery deliveries, laundry services, and cleaning help. But while most people, the average person, what they do in life is work to make money, I have the mindset to spend money to save time because I want to be built different. If you want to be exceptional, if you want to build wealth, if you want to have freedom, you need to do things differently. You cannot spend the same way the average person spends money. Your financial habits have a direct impact on your success. If you're not mindful about it, you will end up wasting your potential for short-term comfort, and you won't even realize it because in the now it feels normal, but what you don't understand is that it directly influences your chances for success towards your goals. You have to wake up. You cannot spend money the same way other people spend money. The type of wealth that you want, because there's a good chance you're here since you're ambitious, you have goals, you want to be successful. The type of wealth that you want, which is having options, being in control of what you do with your time, living on your own terms, that starts way before your bank account shows it. That starts with how you think, how you spend money, and what you build. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons I spend money to save time because I'm trying to convince you to change your spending habits. I want you to reach your potential because I'm talking to younger me. I'm telling you what I wish I knew when I started making money and how I could have been smarter with my money. Some people don't achieve their goals not because they aren't capable of reaching them. It's because they're making mistakes they're not even aware of. And it could be as simple as how you spend your money. And there are things that might seem harmless, but they're actually your biggest culprit. I'm trying to help you because I'm sick of being lonely on this pursuit to greatness. I have friends around me or people around me that judge me so hard for how I spend my money, but they don't realize that what they're doing is just going to keep them average. I've listened to tons of podcasts. I've read tons of books. I've had so many rich people tell me that's how they made money. That's how they became successful. That's how they reached their goals. And what they did was not the norm. Let's stop wasting time and let's get straight into the video. The number one thing that you have to understand is that time is your most valuable asset. But how many times have you heard this? You've probably heard this tons of times before, but if you don't truly understand what it means, it won't really change your behavior. I want you to truly get what that means. Time being your most valuable asset means that there's nothing in the world that can buy time. You can always make more money, but you cannot make more time. And the reason why it's so valuable is that anything that is valuable is built with time. Deep relationships, a business, your health, all of those things that are valuable take a lot of time. You cannot buy that. Those are things that just cannot happen instantly. And a lot of people just don't know how to manage their time because everyone has the same amount of time in a day. You might think that you don't have time, but that's a lie. We all have the same amount of time. It's how you spend your time that is different. And since what I want in my life is something so big, because my dreams are aiming so high, I know it's going to take a lot of time to get there. So I need to find ways to free up my time. So what I do is I invest in laundry services, in cleaning services, in grocery deliveries, in editors, in anything that can save me time, because 1 or 2 hours per week ends up being 50 to 100 hours a year. If you don't know me, my name is Bianca St. George, and I'm a professional soccer player. And the reason why I came up with this video is because I was at lunch with my teammates, and one of my friends that knows a little bit about my life was kind of like jokingly laughing with the others about how much I spend money on services. Even though I live by myself, I still have a cleaning lady that comes in and does my cleaning. And they would laugh at me because they're like, I own a house and I don't even do that. So the thing that they don't understand is that when I spend money on those things, that saves an hour here, an hour there, ultimately, I save a lot of time so I can rest, so I can think creatively, so I can invest in relationships, so I can build a business, so I can reduce my stress or build my community. There are so many other things that are more valuable to me that I can build with that time that I'm saving. That's a return that money cannot buy. I cannot buy stress-free time. I cannot buy creative thinking. But what I can do is buy things that will give me time so I can do those things. The things that I want, I cannot get from a direct purchase. I need to save my time for that. So for groceries, I get them delivered because if I spend 1 or 2 hours a week going grocery shopping, that's a lot of time, energy that I would lose to do other things. Now it's literally on an auto thing where it just buys the same stuff and it gets delivered straight to my door without even me thinking about it. So my teammates that were making fun of me, which is so weird because they're all professional athletes, so you would think that they would understand the value of that, but no. If they're not being taught, they won't know. To them, that's very irrational, but to me, it's extremely strategic. And think about it, the people that make a lot of money in life, what do they do that for? It's because they want to free up their time. They want to be able to delegate things. They want to be able to focus their energy on what matters to them. The second reason why you want to spend money to save time is because it reduces your mental load. When you have a lot to do, you waste not only time, but so much energy. You want to limit the amount of things that you need to focus on because we all hear entrepreneurs or high achievers or successful people saying that you need a huge ability to focus, and it's extremely hard to focus nowadays as well. You want to create the best chances for you to be able to focus on what matters. And when you spend money on things that saves you time, you're able to put more energy on your projects. And when you do that, it offloads the chores that eventually decreases your decision fatigue. Think about your day. You have a lot of decisions to make, and it's always harder at the end of the day to make good decisions than at the beginning because you're getting more fatigue. You get decision fatigue because you've made so many decisions. Kind of like if you're on a diet, it's really easy to start the day and be on your diet, but when it's nighttime, that's usually where the cravings come in, and then sometimes that's usually where you fail the most because you're at the end of the day, and that's where decision fatigue kicks in. If you want to have less decision fatigue, you need less chores. You need less things to do, less decisions to make. So I don't want to have to decide on doing my laundry, on going grocery shopping, on cleaning my apartment, because that will just make so much more mental load that is not contributing to my success. I know you. I know you're a high achiever, that you're ambitious, that you want more for yourself. You're goal-oriented. So that means that you need to clear your head for higher thinking. I would not be able to make these YouTube videos if I had all the other things to think about that don't matter. We all work for a living right now. We all make money. So it's how you spend your money that really dictates your future. And this goes into number 3. The way that you spend your money reflects your values. And that is so important because when you spend money to save time, it's so much bigger than that. It also tells you a different story. It tells you what you prioritize. So when I spend money on services, it tells me that I prioritize my future, that I prioritize becoming the highest version of myself. One of the things that I spend money on is a tutor. If you don't know this, I don't know why you would know it, besides if you're a returning subscriber that's been loyal to me and watched all my videos, but I'm learning Russian. I've been learning Russian for over a year now, and I'm paying a tutor for this. I literally have a tutor. I'm not like just going casually on Duolingo. Like I'm paying a tutor to stay accountable, to be disciplined, but also I just want to invest in myself. I want to invest in my skills. It's so much bigger than the language itself. It's me having structure. It's me showing up when I don't feel like it. It's me showing that I'm spending money on becoming more skilled, which is something that I value. The way that you spend your money reflects your values. So think about how you spend your money. If you spend your money on comfortable things, on entertainment, on eating out, on drinking, that just tells you where your priorities are. It's a huge reality check. If you want to know someone's mindset, just look at their spending habits. I can tell you exactly the type of person someone is just by how they spend their money. One of the things that I spend money on that is pretty expensive is my video editor. And I'm laughing because he's going to edit this video. But it's so valuable to me because, first of all, it's not like I cannot edit my videos. All the videos I've had at the beginning of my YouTube journey are videos that I've edited, and I've done really complicated stuff in the past. They're not there anymore. I used to do vlogs. I took them out because they're just not part of my personal brand anymore. But I know how to edit videos. However, if I spend my time on doing that, I'm not going to have the time on working on other things that can elevate me. Me becoming a better video editor is not something that's going to align with my long-term goals. If you're someone that has goals within video editing, obviously keep doing that. But for me, it doesn't support my vision. So I need to delegate that. And I don't mind spending hundreds of dollars a month on that because it gives me space to focus on other things that can allow me to level up. Some people decide to spend that amount of money on clothes versus I do it on video editing. And that tells me the story that I'm investing in myself, that I have control over my destiny, that I have the ability to set boundaries, to respect myself, to be disciplined. The story that it tells you is so much more than just a simple fact that it saves time. The fourth reason why you should spend money to save time is because you are creating the lifestyle that matches your future vision. So I want you to sit back and imagine that highest version of yourself. You in 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years. That version of you, would they spend hours of their day deep cleaning their apartment? They would probably be working on some sort of project. They would be leading a meeting. They would be inspiring others. They would be in the thick of their dreams, basically. So that means that right now, you have to live that way to become that way. You don't do low-level activities and become a high-level person. You need to be doing high-level activities right now to become the version you want to become. And high-level activities is delegating and outsourcing. I could be cleaning my car myself, for example. I could be deep cleaning my car, but I will spend $200 on doing that over doing it myself. And the reason why I'm able to do that is because I set a personal value to who I am, okay? Hear me out. This is not saying that you are a certain price tag, but this is just to help you conceptualize how to spend money. So let's say I view myself as someone that is worth $500 an hour. You have two options here. Either you spend $200 on cleaning a car, and then overall, if you're worth $500 but you spend $200, you have a net of $300, or you decide to do it yourself and not pay the other thing, but because you're worth $500 an hour and you spend 2 hours to clean your car, you then lose $1,000. Do you see what I'm getting at? I want to be someone that is worth $500 an hour next year, for example, okay? So the way that I act right now needs to be matching that amount. It would be stupid for me to spend a whole hour doing something when I can just pay someone else and have a better return in my investment because it saves me time. I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, just let me know in the comments. I'm going to try to write this better. But it doesn't have to be 500. I know 500 is a lot. Just look at your life right now and just put a certain amount of, let's say right now, you're thinking you're worth $30 an hour. So spend that extra $10 to get something delivered to you instead of you wasting an hour trying to do a return or something. It's kind of like, for example, okay, this happened recently. Something got delivered for $50 to my old apartment. And instead of spending like tons of time on customer service, I'm just going to take the L for that $50. I'm just going to take the L because I'm not going to waste the time on that when I could be putting it into making this YouTube video. Same with my car. To import my car from Canada, it would have taken a lot of time and also investment. But I'm like, I'd rather just give it to the junkyard and lose that amount because that would have taken me hours and hours and hours. So my fourth point to summarize is you want to be living like the future version of yourself and ask yourself, how do they spend their time? Now, the fifth and final point into why I spend money to save time is because I'm very comfortable with my financial formula. So it's very important that everybody has a clear idea of what their finances look like. A lot of people avoid that because they're afraid of what they're going to see, but you cannot change what you don't know. And you don't want to go through life just pushing your problems away because they're just going to keep growing bigger. You need to face your financial situation. So what I do at the beginning of every year, I do my whole financial analysis. And for my personal formula, what I am comfortable with is basically 4 categories. I divide my money into fixed costs, investments, savings, and guilt-free spending. I have a specific percentage of how much money I'm willing to spend in each category. I'm going to tell you right now if it's helpful, but this is what I'm comfortable with. It's not like a golden rule that everybody needs to do. I'm comfortable spending 50% of my income on my fixed costs. So anything that I absolutely have to pay goes into 50% of my income. Then my investments is 15%. So all the investments I have in stocks or mutual funds is 15% of my income. Then 7% is with my savings. And this one has 2 different categories. 2% is my emergency and 5% is my fund savings. Like if I have like a spontaneous trip I want to do, I have money like saved for that. And then finally, my guilt-free spending is 28%. So this is me living my life guilt-free. Because I used to be so afraid to spend money. That's just how I grew up. That's how how my parents were, but I didn't grow up with a lot of money at all. Like, that's just the reality. I didn't know that as a kid, but when I grew up now, I'm like, oh my God, we did not have money. So I always had this belief that spending money was bad, that I shouldn't do it, but I didn't realize that that would be robbing me from my future. So now it's like, okay, there's guilt-free money that I can spend. And that's 28% of my income. And that goes into all these services that I pay that are extra. It's my cleaning service, it's my groceries, my laundry. And when I say laundry, literally once a week, I put my laundry in a bag. Someone picks it up, goes professionally dry, cleans it, all that stuff, and brings it back all folded for me to just put away. It's awesome. Like, I love this service. So you need to do your financial research and see what financial formula is comfortable for you, because then that makes you feel like you're in control of your money, but also it gives you permission to spend your money as well. You know how much you can spend. Like, don't be stupid and put yourself in tons of debt that you can't come back from. Like, you want to be smart about it. Now, I hope you found these 5 points convincing for you. I hope you feel inspired. I hope you feel like you're allowed to spend money on things that other people won't really understand. But you're built different. So you're going to do things differently than what most people do. And all the characteristics it takes for you to spend money wisely is exactly what's needed for you to master yourself. Whether you want to build a business, you want to build your dream body, even building deep relationships, it takes consistency, it takes self-control, it takes a vision, all things that are also necessary in how you manage your money. So how you have your money behavior is only going to help and support you towards your goals. But it is true for the opposite. If you don't spend wisely, it's going to hurt you tremendously. If you found this helpful, awesome. I would love to know, obviously, but if not, it's okay. I love you so much, and I'm so thankful you watched until the end. If you want to be a part of like-minded people like me, and probably someone like you because you watched until the end, you can find this community of like-minded individuals in the first link in my description, okay? I really hope I see you there. I love you so much. Thank you so much for taking interest in your personal growth, and I hope that you do different to be built different. See you soon in a new video. Mwah.